Hey everybody. So for this video I wanted to try doing something a little different. Junior Nationals for Powerlifting America is about a week and a half out now, and I wanted to put together a couple of reasons why I think I'm going to win, and a couple of reasons why I won't. I think that there's a lot of factors that go into this meet. I believe I'm in the most competitive weight class in the country, which is a blessing because winning with no competition feels like a free win. And I don't like that. I'm excited to be pushed, and I'm excited to be faced with some of the strongest competition I've had thus far in my powerlifting career. So the first reason why I think I definitely have a chance is I have the best deadlift in the competition. And this is great for a number of reasons. Firstly, it eliminates the need to perfectly strategize. Whereas if you miss an attempt on squat, and squat is one of your best lifts, you may not be able to come back from that in the end if you have a weaker deadlift. But me, I'm not planning on missing any lifts. I really am preparing to put together my perfect meet. I'm feeling stronger than I ever have, and I'm fairly confident in putting up some numbers I haven't put up before. But if I were to miss a squat or miss a top end bench, I can make up that difference easier on deadlift. And a reason why I might not is because I have the weakest squat. Now, this is going to put me off to a disadvantage right out the gate. And this is problematic because the two other major competitors I'm facing are both 600-pound squatters, and I'm not. It means immediately out the gate, I'm going to be behind. But I believe moving into the next reason why I definitely can is I can make up this difference starting with I have the best bench. Bench isn't going to be, I think, unless you have an elite level bench isn't going to be a game changer in terms of it's not going to push you from a middle of the pack to the best unless you have a monster bench. Like for my weight class, which is 83 keys, you'd be thinking around 440 plus, or even 430 plus would be like that big difference maker. But when most people are benching around mid to high 300s, having the best can be enough to put you in a slightly better position moving into the next lift, which is the deadlift. And every pound you add on bench is going to be a pound you don't have to pull for the win. And the next reason why I might not is I'm coming off a bad meet. Now, I've been trying my best to not let it carry over into my training. I've been feeling stronger in my training than I ever have before in my life. I feel more motivated than I've ever been, but I am aware of the fact that I'm coming off a bad meet. I squatted 525, which is 15 pounds under my all-time best. Benched 352, which is 23 pounds off my all-time best. And I'm deadlifting. Well, my deadlift recovered really well. I deadlifted 700 at a relatively low RPE, which by that point I started to feel more recomped, more motivated, more warmed up. But it was an end to a rather unassuming day. And I know that momentum is a scary thing in powerlifting. If you ride wins, you could see competitors constantly improving meet after meet after meet because they have that momentum. And I also have seen people who have a bad meet and proceed to have poor meets after that meet. So I'm going to do my very best to not let this weaker meet influence how I perform at nationals and really try and turn it around and hopefully turn it to a win. And the last thing I'm going to bring up for what reason why I can and reason why I won't, it's going to be 2 for 1, is I'm going to be the heaviest 83. And what does that mean exactly? That means I'm going to be making the biggest weight cut. From what I've learned of the other competitors who are competing, most people are cutting from mid 180s to high 180s, and I'm cutting from mid 190s. I'm someone who's very comfortable cutting weight, but I also know that cutting weight adds some variables. I know that the last meet I did, which I just was talking about, my cut went very poorly. and my recomp was bad, and I felt like I didn't really have a whole lot of energy. I felt weak. I felt bad, and I know it has something to do, or at least cutting weight contributed to this. Now, moving into this next meet, I've taken the steps needed to not let it be so drastic on me, and to make a smarter cut and minimize some of those variables that would affect my performance. But I do know that it is something I'm going to have to be careful of. But also, this means going into this meet, being the heaviest outside of weigh-ins, means I'm going to be carrying more mass on the platform, assuming I recomp efficiently. So that's going to help in the lifts, because a lot of people say mass moves mass. Being bigger doesn't necessarily make you stronger, but I do think that it helps with leverages, depending on what you're aiming to do. And I know my squat and my bench benefit greatly from when I'm at around 193 to 195 than when I'm at 188. And I'm hoping that this extra body weight is going to help carry me a little bit more into this meet, where I could best utilize it to get more out of my weaker lifts and not have it affect my strongest lift, which is my deadlift. So these are 3 reasons, or 2 reasons why I will, 2 reasons why I won't, and a reason why I will and will not. Yeah. So these are some reasons as to why I might win nationals and why I might not. At the end of the day, I can only do what I can do. I can only control what I can control. And the way training has been going and the way I'm feeling right now, I definitely think that I've got a chance. And I'm excited to see. I'm excited to compete. You know, it's a week from Saturday. And I'm fully expecting to not only win, but to hit the dots I've always wanted to hit, which is 500, being the first person from Idaho to do it since the Jesse Norris, who's the greatest junior powerlifter of all time. So got some big goals this meet, and I think I can do it. I'm feeling great, but if you want to let me know what you think, if you think otherwise, or if you think so, you can let me know in the comments. Thank you all for listening, and thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate all the support. Thanks.